Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to our Medlink Students November webinar. Wow, what a year it has been so far for us. We've seen record numbers of students going to study medicine and dentistry abroad, and in fact I'm sure a lot of you that are attending this evening are already in the process of looking or have even already applied with us for March or September 2025. Congratulations to those of you who have taken the plunge, and I know you're here to hear from some of the students and get even more information this evening. For those of you that are still thinking about going to study medicine and dentistry abroad, you are in the right place. We're here to help, and we look forward to going through all of the information we can, as well as giving you access to an exclusive offer at the end of the webinar. So, first of all, looking at who's going to be speaking this evening. Of course, you have myself here hosting this evening's webinar. I'm Tom, I'm an expert academic advisor at Medlink Students. I've been here for many, many years and helped thousands of students over the years to go and pursue their dreams, much like my colleagues, Edmund and Dana. And then we also have an admissions specialist, Miguel. Miguel is one of the guys who's working, I would say, harder than us, because he is actually going to be building the applications and the files. He's one of a big team of people across many different areas that are building and submitting the applications and getting you that acceptance letter that you need to get into med or dental school. So not only us, but we're also going to have some university representatives, as you can see here, Professor Ia, Dr. Tamara, and many more who are going to be joining us from a variety of different universities to give you a very deep dive into the schools and how they are. We've also, of course, going to have the students. These are always the stars of the show every single time. You can see here we have a whole host of fantastic students that are studying all over Europe, and we cannot wait to hear from them. Also a student from the Caribbean as well, I can see there. Okay, so if you do want to have access to the presentation slides, they are available here, but as I said, stay tuned for the exclusive offer that we will have at the end of the webinar. Cool, so moving on from here then, what are we going to cover today? So we're going to start off by talking a little bit about ourselves. So who are Medlink students? We're then going to talk about some of the benefits of studying abroad and what might work for you. We're then going to do a dive into some of the admission and tuition fees, and also how the courses are broken down and how it works differently in Europe and the Caribbean compared to places like the UK, for example. We're going to go over a few popular universities, some of the most popular ones that we've just seen from 2024, which are top picks for you to apply for 2025. We're going to be talking about universities that are open for the March and October intakes, as well as a few more intakes as well throughout 2025. We're also going to be going through how we can help you as an organization run by a team of doctors. And then we're going to do a little Q&A at the end just to wrap things up and answer some of the most commonly asked questions. So do pop your questions in the Q&A at the bottom. We have a team of people that are going through them constantly throughout the webinar, and we will be answering the most commonly asked questions at the end of the presentation. Okay, so to start off with then, as mentioned, we're going to talk a little bit about our organization. For that, I'm going to pass over to my colleague Edmund. Over to you.
Thanks, Tom. Good evening, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to have you guys here and also to be here. You know, we've had quite the journey. Now, every success story begins with a bold decision, and at Medlink Students, we've walked the very journey that you guys are considering today. Now, our doctors and dentists once stood where you are, navigating the challenges of gaining admissions in medical and dental schools in their home country, especially the UK. Now, while their grades were strong, opportunities weren't always available for them. They kept getting rejections after rejections, which of course led them to seek other opportunities abroad. And therefore, we established Medlink Students. And that's the whole point, is to guide students like you through sometimes daunting yet incredibly rewarding journey. From applications to settling into new countries, we're here to ensure that you focus on what matters, which is achieving your dreams. But before I delve in a bit deeper, as Tom said, I want to remind you guys that we have an exciting exclusive offer that awaits for you guys at the end of this webinar. So it's our way of helping you take the first step. So do stay tuned though. Now, what makes us unique is our team. And we're a blend of experts, which includes doctors who have lived this experience, skilled advisors who identify your best options, and our on-ground support team who ensure that you feel at home when you go to a new environment. Now, this diverse expertise means that we can be with you from start of your application to your graduation day. But let me take a step back and broaden the scope here. In the years that we've been helping students just like you, we've seen a clear trend here. Studying medicine and dentistry abroad uh, has never been more accessible. It's not just a plan B anymore, which it used to, but it's an opportunity for you to shape your entire future. Now, with that, I'm going to hand over to Dana, who's one of our expert advisors here. She's going to talk to you guys about why studying abroad might be the best decision you'll ever make. Dana?
Thank you, Edmund, and what an evening. So nice to see so many students here, excited about learning about your options to study abroad and achieve your dream. It's so exciting to see how many students we have that are eager to achieve their dreams. So I'll tell you a little bit more about the benefits of studying abroad, especially that I speak to thousands of students. I hear their feedback. I see them when they come to Europe, and then they start studying medicine, and they tell me more about their positives and what they liked and what were their fears before they came. So one of the main things that students love about coming to Europe is affordable tuition fees. Universities in Europe have tuition fees that range between £3,000, it can go up to 25 or 30,000 pounds a year. So whatever your budget is, you're able to study medicine at a top university in English and enjoy the quality of education that is with a very high standard and also international environment. So you get to meet students from many different countries in the world. They come from many different areas, many different cultures and backgrounds, where you get to know them and enjoy learning about these new cultures and, of course, making friends from different places. In addition to the flexible admission requirements, one of the main things why students want to study abroad or they come to us is because they couldn't get in their home country due to competition or due for them not having biology or chemistry or not having A's. So also in Europe, we have universities that have very flexible admissions where you can apply whatever you have. We can get on a call with you and advise you which university you can apply to and you qualify for. And the courses are fully taught in English. So you don't have to be learning new languages to come and study medicine. You come and you study courses that are fully taught in English. All you have to do is learn the language while you live in the country that you're studying in. And the degree is also globally recognized. One of the main concerns students have when they speak to us is my degree going to be recognized in my home country? So the reason why students come to Europe is because the universities in Europe have degrees that are worldwide recognized and they allow you to come home and practice. In addition to the variety, best thing is that sometimes students ask me, can I apply to 2 universities or what's my limit? Well, the answer here is that whatever university you're interested in, we are able, because we have a team of experts that have been doing this for years. They're able to secure admission for you by creating a very strong file, working directly with the university and with you to guide you with the process every step of the way. And if you wish to add another university to have the peace of mind, that's also a possibility. And the universities in Europe, no matter which university, we handpick the top universities that offer medicine in English, and they are known to have very modern facilities where you can have the best quality of education, in addition to enjoying the facilities, the libraries, the gyms, the classes, laboratories with your friends, professors, and so on. So they have very modern facilities, very well-established campuses, and we look forward to see you at one of these campuses. Now, we will hear more about these positives from students that are joining us today. I'll let Tom come in and tell us a little bit more about the UK. Tom?
Thanks, Dana. Yeah, so we have a statistic here. It's not specifically about the UK, but it is about the total number of British nationals joining the register with a non-UK primary medical qualification. Now, what does that mean? A primary medical qualification, or PMQ, is the degree that you're going to get when you go and study abroad for medicine. And what you can see here is a graph of British nationals. So these are students from the UK who decided to go and study abroad, obtain their degree in another country, and then come back to register in the UK. The main thing we want to demonstrate by showing you this is that you are definitely not alone. There are more and more people going to do this every single year, and as you can see in 2023, there were almost 1,000 doctors who had studied abroad from the UK who then came back to register with the GMC. So it's very much attainable. It's a very clear-cut thing for you to do. It's a very normal thing to go and do. And in fact, we are currently in a situation where a lot of these schools abroad that used to be very easy to get into are starting to become more difficult and more challenging. And this is why we're seeing a lot of people applying much sooner than they typically would as well, which we'll go into a little bit more detail later on. So just to give you an idea of other people that have done it there and have already gone through and completed the courses. So going on from there, we're going to talk a little bit about what the education system actually is like in Europe and how it may differ from the UK, the US, and other places. And to do that, I'm going to pass back to my colleague Edmund. Over to you.
Thanks, Tom. So let's take a moment to explore what pursuing medicine or dentistry really truly involves. Now, for many of you who are considering this path, it's an incredible opportunity to gain a globally recognized degree while studying the course in English in an English-speaking environment. So when it comes to medicine, the programs typically span over 6 years, and they are structured to provide a perfect balance between theory and practice. So in the first 3 years, you'll focus on the classroom-based learning, and then you get to master medical theories and clinical fundamentals. And then the latter 3 years will be the hands-on training, where you get to work directly with patients under supervision of experienced doctors. And this is really to help you develop the skills that you will need to define you as a practitioner. Now, what's exciting is that the level of international exposure that you'll gain is going to be incredible. And studying abroad really immerses you into a diverse healthcare system, and it prepares you to adapt to any professional environment across the world. Now, as I mentioned before, I want to remind you, for those of you who have just joined now, we do have an exclusive offer waiting for all the attendees at the end of this webinar. So it's a chance for you to take the step forward towards a medical degree and a career. So stay tuned towards the end. All right. Now, let's take a look at the dental education abroad, which offers a similar opportunity tailored to those of you who are considering dentistry. Now, the thing with dentistry is it's such a fulfilling profession that combines art, science, and the care for people's health. Now, typically, when you graduate, it's Doctor of Medicine in dentistry, which is DMD, and then you've got the DDS degree, which is Doctor of Dental Surgery, which generally stands from 5 to 6 years to complete. Now, the first part of the program, which is usually the first 2 or the first 3 years, they focus on theoretical training, which also covers the foundation of dental knowledge, from anatomy to your biochemistry. And then you get to work, also do some hands-on experience on the phantom head. Now, the latter part is where you gain invaluable clinical experience, where you work directly with patients under expert supervision. Now, of course, studying abroad, doing dentistry will give you access to advanced facilities such as the dental simulation labs and all the state-of-the-art facilities and the clinics that you'll have, which will give you the confidence when you graduate and you want to practice in other countries as well. So pursuing dentistry abroad is not just going to earn you a degree. It's going to make you more confident and competent professional when you finish. Now, let's shift some gears to explore the the graduate entry programs, which offers a faster pathway for those of you with science-related degrees. Now, graduate entry programs offer the route into becoming a doctor or a dentist, which basically allows you to complete your degree either MD or DMD in just 4 years. Now, these programs are designed to build upon the strong scientific background that you've built. So by condensing the academic and clinical components, it basically allows you to transition into healthcare quite efficiently. Now, here at Medlink Students, we've worked with countless of graduates, from biomedical scientists to nurses to physiotherapists and a lot of others. And what we've done is help them navigate the application, the process of finding the program that suits their academic background and their career aspirations. Now, whether you're looking to shift into medicine or into dentistry, we have the expertise to guide you in every step of the way. So therefore, choosing and considering your path, this could be your next bold move. And we'll help you unlock the doors in some top graduate entry programs, whether in Europe or outside of it. Now, let's turn the segment onto the flexibility and options available when you're transferring between medical schools or dental schools. And that is a topic that is actually equally important. So let's look at it. Now, sometimes life can throw unexpected challenges your way, which requires you to change plans completely. Now, for some students, this might mean transferring to another university or completely going to a different country. Now, whether it's due to financial reasons, family commitments, or academic challenges, the decision to transfer can feel daunting sometimes, but it doesn't have to be. Now, here at Medlink Students, we've guided hundreds of students through this process, and we ensure their hard work and their dedication doesn't go to waste at all. Now, transferring universities, though, it does involve navigating complex requirements and admissions, deadlines, and all sorts. And that's where we step in, and we make the process quite seamless, so you can just focus on continuing your education without any disruptions. Now, university transfers can be an opportunity also to find an environment that suits better with your goals. So whether it's to change countries, curriculum, or even to move more to an affordable option, we're here to help you. And therefore, if you're considering transferring, there are options that we can look into. Of course, we have to discuss this, and we can give you the right guidance. I know it's a decision that can lead to even greater success. Now, to discuss living costs and tuition fees in Europe, now a topic we know it's on everyone's mind tonight, I'd like to hand it back to my colleague, Dana. And don't forget, we have that special opportunity coming your way that you don't want to miss. Dana?
Thank you, Edmund. We can't wait to hear the offer. So let's talk a bit about the tuition fees and living costs. That's one of the main concerns that a lot of students have. And when they speak to us, they want to know more about how much is it going to cost them to study abroad, what financial commitments they need to have, and how much they should budget for that. So to talk more about this, as you can see in front of you on the screen, we have universities that range between 4,100 euros, and it could go up to reach 29,800 euros a year. So whatever your budget is, no matter what it is, we are able to help you find a university that meets all the requirements you're looking for, you qualify to apply to it, and at the same time, it meets the budget that you have. This way, you can study without having any financial burden or any financial stress on you or your family while you're studying abroad, and you can achieve your dream with a comfortable budget. And in addition to the very affordable prices that students love about going abroad, they also kind of enjoy the living expenses because it's quite reasonable to live abroad. I mean, we speak to students and they're like, you can travel in a taxi for €2, €3. You could go to a restaurant, order a meal, and have lunch for €6, €7. So it's quite amazing how students get to enjoy their life there, their daily life, with very reasonable prices. As you can see in front of you on the table, we have the living expenses compared to the tuition fees of each country. A common question, by the way, I get from many students is, does it mean if I study at a university with higher fees, I'm gonna have better quality of education? The answer here is no. Tuition fees usually are related to the economical situation of the country that the university is located in. So it's not related to the quality of education. It's related to the economical situation of the country. So you can study at a university and have the best quality of education for 4,000 euros, or you can have the best quality of education for 15,000 euros or 20,000 euros. So don't worry, whatever your budget is, you are able to study medicine without having any financial burdens on you or your family, achieve your dream, become a phenomenal doctor, and come back home and practice. Just get on a call with us and we can look at your qualifications, your budget, all the criteria you look for, and we can help you find the most suitable and the perfect fit for you. Now we're gonna look a little bit more into the admission process. Miguel?
Yes, I'm here.
Miguel is one of our senior admission experts that help students with their applications. Can you tell us a little bit more about the admission process?
Yes, of course. Hello, everyone. My name is Miguel, and I'm thrilled to be here representing the Medlink Students admissions team. Today marks the beginning of a very exciting journey for all of you, and I'm eager to share all the fantastic opportunities our medical universities have to offer. Now, let's talk about what you need in order to get started. The key requirement is a high school diploma or an equivalent of this from your high school system. The European universities are known for their academic excellence, and as such, they require that their candidates have a strong background in the basic sciences such as biology, chemistry, physics, and maths. But don't worry, if you don't have these, there are plenty of universities that will accept you without this, because these universities like to give equal opportunities to all candidates. And in some universities, if English isn't your first language, you may be required to present an English language certificate. But don't worry, the team will help you find the perfect match for you. Remember, you are not embarking on this journey alone. Our dedicated admissions team here at Medlink Students is here to support you throughout the process, from providing study materials to assisting with entrance exam preparations. We've got you covered. Entrance exams may vary in format. You may have some entrance exams that will be multiple choice based. Some entrance exams will be open-ended questions, and others will be a mixture of both. We've got you covered and we'll be sure to prepare you with all the material that you need for you to be able to pass them without a problem. If interviews are also part of the admissions process, the team will also make sure to provide you with the tools as well as the confidence that you need in order to shine. And there is more. We will also be helping with translating, certifying, and legalizing your document so that you are able to get that acceptance letter that you need from your choice university. What sets us apart is our continuous communication with the universities, ensuring that you're always in the loop. We also support you not only before you get accepted, but during the application process as well, and after you have gotten that accepted letter. We understand that this is a significant step, and the team is committed to helping you achieve your academic dreams. We are excited to support each one of you in achieving your dreams, because your success is our success too. Now I'll ask my colleague Edmund to take over and go over the students' top choice universities.
Thank you, Miguel. Thank you for sharing that. And this is fantastic to see all the work that goes into what we do. There's a lot of questions coming in as well. Keep them coming. It's been a great time seeing the questions. So now we're going to take a moment to highlight the universities that have been the top picks amongst our students this year. Now, these institutions, of course, they represent a diversity of opportunities available to everyone looking at medicine or dentistry abroad. Now, some of these popular destinations for students this year include countries like Georgia, Serbia, Bulgaria, Latvia, Poland. Now, these countries not only have excellent universities, but they also offer an enriching cultural experience as well. And of course, the medical and dental schools that we work with all teach in English. So you won't have to worry about going to study a fully taught program that is in their local language at all. Now, each of these schools and these countries, they offer unique advantages. So whether it's the quality of education, the cost of living, or even the lifestyle, we've carefully selected over 100 English taught programs across medicine and dentistry in the European schools, ensuring that we can match you to the perfect opportunity. For instance, Georgia continues to stand with options like TMA. We've got European University of Tbilisi, known for the affordability and English taught programs, and Serbia for Novi Sad, and Bulgaria for Trakia and Plovdiv, and so many other opportunities. Meanwhile, we've got the Caribbean options that present a chance to combine both academic pursuits and a vibrant cultural experience. Now, what makes these universities so appealing isn't just the quality of education and the recognition, but also the partnership that we've built with them. Now, these collaborations ensure that students like you have a smoother transition with the application, tailored supports, and the unique opportunities that help you to thrive socially and academically. Now, here at Medlink Students, we've worked tirelessly to curate all of these universities that are, of course, recognized in places like the UK and the US and many, many other countries as well. So, no matter your preference or your goals, the universities here, they're a perfect match for any single one of you. Now, up next, we're going to have more of a detailed option in two of the universities that are in Georgia. And the first one I'll be sharing with you would be TMA. And we'll take a closer look at the universities that we've also partnered with that you'll get to listen about. Now, I'll be talking to you guys about Tbilisi Medical Academy, which is known as TMA, university located in the capital, which offers medicine, where you graduate as a doctor of medicine, so MD. The tuition fees, as you see, 6,500 euros. And there is no entrance exam, which means that you get to enjoy the less pressure of getting to a medical school, but you do have an interview, which we prepare you for. The university also has 2 intakes per year. The intake, which is October, which we've completed, and then the intake coming. Now, if you are still looking to take up the opportunity for the March intake, then you need to act quick because the seats are quite limited. And of course, the application can take a while to process. So get in touch if you are looking for an opportunity for the March one. Now, of course, the university offers a lot of facilities and support for all the students. And to tell you a lot about the balanced life and the studies, I want to introduce you to Jasira, who's a current student there. And she's going to give you and share with you her experience about life at TMA. Jasira, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
It's always lovely to have you join us. How are you?
Thank you. It's lovely to be here again. I'm fine. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Thank you for joining us tonight. So, what attracted you to study medicine at TMA?
All right. So, when I was looking for different options to study medicine in Europe, I stumbled upon Medlink Students. And when I was looking at the list that you have in your website, I was thinking about the different countries, and I thought for some reason Georgia caught my attention. And also, upon doing some more research, I found out that it was a pretty safe country, very calm. So that was one of my main motivations to study here in Georgia. And when it comes to TMA specifically, the syllabus that they presented and also the recognition outside of Georgia was a very interesting and important thing for me.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. And in terms of your process, could you walk us through the application journey with us here at Medlink Students? And how did they help you in securing your place at TMA?
Yeah, sure. I had my first meeting with Dana, who's with us here today, and she basically tried to give me the options that were more suitable for me, and TMA was my choice. And after that, I have to admit that the process was extremely smooth. All I had to do was submit all the papers and the documents that Medlink students demanded, and the university also. And everything went through Medlink students. I didn't have to do anything, and yeah, up until the point of having an interview with TMA, and that was all. It was very, very calm on my part.
It's always great when a lot of the work and the pressure is taken off you and we can handle
Exactly.
everything for you. Now, of course, life at TMA, what is it like life like for you, like as a medical student at TMA? Could you describe a typical day on campus for you?
Um, a typical day, well, first of all, I have to start saying by saying that it is very diverse. I've met people from all over the world, from countries that I have never even heard about. So that is a very fulfilling experience, getting to know other people and opening your mind. Second, I would say that it is very structured, in the sense of like very structured, and also the communication with the teachers is very close because the groups are very small. I think there's maximum 20 to 25 people per class. So it is extremely easy to have communication with our lecturers that are, most of them, if not all in some cases, are doctors themselves. So that's a plus. Um, so we have our classes, and yeah, that would be all. It's very lively.
Oh, fantastic. It sounds fun, actually. Um, in regards to which year are you in now, Jasira?
Sorry?
Which year are you in?
Oh, I'm in the first year, but second semester already.
Okay, fantastic. And have you had the chance to do any practical classes yet, or any clinical experiences yet?
Yes, there is this subject that's called IPC, and it's basically like an integration of different skills that we have to develop throughout our career. And in the first semester, we had learned how to do a medical history, very general medical history of a patient. We learned about different medical conditions that then we had to present in a way of like we had an actor. These actors are specialized in pretending to be patients, and we had to do a medical history on that. We also had to do physical examination to assess shoulder injuries. And this semester we're doing the same, but more focused in the central nervous system. So doing the reflexes and learning how to link certain reflexes or lack of reflexes with injuries of the spinal cord or the cerebral cortex and stuff like that.
Wow. And this is all in the first year.
Yeah.
That's amazing. This shows, I mean, how great they immerse you into the program, just so it doesn't feel so theoretical all the time. This is
Yeah,
quite impressive.
absolutely.
And have you had the chance to go into places like the anatomy labs and the simulation rooms to to see what the facilities are like?
Yes, there is an anatomy room with I don't know how you call it. It's like a big screen, in which
Anatomic table
we.
it's called. I can help for Jazeera. It was called anatomic table.
Oh yeah, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, Professor. And we've been there a few times in order to see the different structures more closely and in a more, let's say, realistic way.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. And finally for you, I know we have students watching tonight and parents, perhaps family members. What advice would you give those who are considering perhaps either TMA or just going to study abroad and still not sure?
Well, it is for sure a very hard decision to make, especially for most of us are very young adults. So, moving far away from everything you've ever known, your parents, your family, your city, your country, it is hard. I'm not going to lie. But honestly, if doing medicine and being a doctor or a dentist is what you want, I would very strongly advise you to take the risk and, try it out. There's no risk, no gain. I think it goes like that.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Very
Thank
inspiring
you.
and always good to have you join us and continue to inspire other students so that are also aspiring to go and pursue this amazing opportunity. Thank you so much, Desira.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to
Oh,
be here.
yes, thank you. So,
Thank you.
to tell you also more about the university and why we have this partnership in place and continuously have a better relationship with the organization, I'd like to invite Professor Ia, who's going to tell you more about the university, what it stands for, and expand a bit more on just what Jasira's shared with you. Professor Ia, always lovely
Yes.
to have you join us.
Hello, nice to see you, Edmund. I'm always very pleased to attend the webinars organized by Medlink, which are our exclusive partners and very good partners for so many years already, and getting students from all parts of the world, but mainly from UK, but of course other parts too. As Jazira already told, we are really very international school. We are having students from 35 countries, and they're all feeling like themselves in a big family. So we have big TMA family and all the members, and new students are welcome there. Generally, just to say that Georgia became big hub of medical education for last 10 years, and we are having thousands of students living in Georgia. And enjoying the environment and studying hard in order to become doctors. So again, like Jazira said, so if there is a will, there is a way always. Yes. So of course I agree with her. It's not easy to leave everything you have known before, but if you are your desire is very strong, so TMA is right place for this because we have all the facilities. It's a genuine student-oriented university. We are really listening to students' requests, and we are having early clinical exposure, like Jazira, again, I'll repeat her words. From the very first year already, we are teaching on it's called SP, simulated patient, when we are teaching on the actors who were trained to pretend that they are patients, and we are teaching them how to measure the pressure, how to check the pulse, etc., and even more like some kind of reflexes for neurological examinations, and using stethoscopes for heartbeats, etc. And then they're going to the clinics when they're ready. And we are having very modern methods of education and assessment too, like it's called CBCR, for example, case-based clinical reasoning, or it's called CBL or TBL, it's called team-based learning, when students are again getting some kind of skills of clinical reasoning from the very first years. So generally this is 6-year MD program. This is one step. We don't divide them by two like bachelor or masters. This is because we are the part of Bologna Declaration for European universities. We're obliged to have one-step medical education, which lasts for 6 years. Normally it should be divided by like pre-medical basic subjects for the first 3 years and then mainly clinical rotations. But we are trying to already from the very first year already to give them some kind of early clinical exposure and to bring them as possibly close to the hospitals, like it allows the curriculum. We are having we are inviting many professors and experts from WHO World Health of the Federation, or WFME, it's World Federation of Medical Education. And together with those experts, we are creating very modern curriculum, which really meets all the criteria of the modern medical education. So again, just to say, I know it's like I will be having very long webinar, so of course I'll be ready to answer later on the questions, though I just want to say that at TMA, we are really promoting good quality of education, and we are giving scholarship for the best students. So if your GPA is very high, and you are active socially, we are giving like $1,000 discount per semester. It means like it will be $2,000 discount if you are doing very well for both semesters. In addition to this, we are offering summer exchange courses, which will be almost free, like universities covering the fees of transportation, the fees of accommodation for 1 month, for example, in different universities. It can be, for example, this year we had 30 students who went to Erzurum University in Turkey, and another went to Rize University. We're having for Trabzon University. We're sending students for European countries and universities, like in Klaipeda University. We have sent this year 15 students at Lodz University in Poland, etc. We are having this trainings for Belgium, we have sent to Antwerp University, we have in Catania, in Sicily, Italy, etc. So for good students, we are providing all kinds of support. So let's again motivate students to study even better. So this, I don't know if you need more information, I will be very happy to answer questions. Otherwise, we are welcoming all the students coming from Medlink, because we know that the staff is really very experienced. So we are working mainly with Daniela and Osman, and they both are very people with high responsibilities, and this working with them is just really a pleasure for us. So welcome to TMA, welcome to Georgia.
Thank you so much, Professor. Yeah, these are many reasons why the partnership ever so grows, and these are reasons why we want to continuously, of course, introduce TMA to the students, because of the work that you put and being involved with the students and rewarding them for the work that they do, because medicine is not easy. So thank you so much for coming in and sharing such insightful information with everyone watching.
Thank you, and success. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So next up, let's take a look at the other university, European University of Tbilisi, which also offers medicine and dentistry. Now, European is also known for its state-of-the-art facilities, including things like the simulation centers and VR labs, which is crucial for your clinical learning. Now, the tuition fees, as you see, it's around 4,300 euros per year. They also have 2 intakes a year. So they have the October intake and they have the intake in March. So again, we have the opportunity for you guys to be able to join the March intake if you are still considering. Seats are quite limited, so get in touch with us even this week, and we can look into the opportunities that will be available for you there. Now, to give you a sense of what it's like to study at a European university, I am thrilled to introduce Lavanya, who's one of the current dental students there, and it's going to tell you more about the journey from applying through us and to getting to European University. Lavanya?
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well as well.
Can you see my camera? I don't think we can see yours.
Is it visible now?
Oh, yes. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Nah, thank you for having me.
So what made you choose EUT or European University for your dental studies?
So one of the main countries that I was looking at was Georgia, just because of the affordability and the cost of living there. But because I was interested in the dental program itself, I think European University was sort of like the best university for me. And also I sort of had a consultation with, I think, Dana as well, and she kind of sort of gave me an insight on what uni is best. So I gave her a list of what my needs were, and she gave me a list of what unis are best for me, and then European university sort of stuck out to me.
Ah, fantastic. And of course, just like other students are watching, quite nervous, you must have probably one of those students nervously trying to find which options are suitable for you. What was going through your mind at the time when you were having the discussion with ourselves, of course, Dana, and then getting to start the process of the
Yeah,
application?
so I think the whole conversation.
Oh, Milan, are you still with us? I think he might have.
Leave my country. Hello?
Oh, I think we lost you for a few seconds there.
Sorry. Yeah, so having, can you still hear
Yeah,
me?
we're still here.
Uh,
We're still here.
yeah. So yeah, so having that whole conversation was Dana was very calming. So obviously not being able to get into my home country was sort of upsetting, and having someone to talk to about that and sort of having that reassurance from Dana was very great. And yeah, so the whole sort of consultation was very short. It was very brief, and it wasn't sort of overwhelming, but it got to the point, and she sort of allowed us to know what we needed to know. So the basic information we needed to decide on what uni we wanted to do. And she didn't also sort of daunt us with the whole process. She first let us pick the uni we wanted and then sort of started slowly explaining the process to us. So yeah, so once I picked European University, she contacted me, she told me what documents I had to send through, and that was pretty much it. And then even for the interview, I received a lot of questions, practice questions, and a lot of sort of material on what I can use to prepare for the interview. And then after that, it was just the matter of waiting for my acceptance letter. So it was very sort of simple, it was stress free, and you guys took most of the stress out of our hands. So
Yeah, yeah. And it sounds like it was a seamless step, each step of the way being guided.
yeah,
What would you
pretty
say
much.
was the most helpful aspect of working with us Medlink students during your application process? How did it make things easier for you?
So being able to communicate with an international country, I don't think most people, especially people that join the seminar, will be struggling with. And having someone there as an intermediate between you and the uni that you are planning to go to is very helpful because you don't have to sort of be dragged into that hassle of talking to the uni itself and talking about your application and also sending out the application as well. In terms of what I had to do was just a normal sort of brief, giving my name and my documents and just basic details that were very easy to find. And in terms of helping pick the uni as well, even the website itself, I don't even need a consultation some of the times. If I just go to the website, I find a lot of information, and that was also very helpful as well.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Since you're a dental student, how long have you been at EUT now?
So this is my second year, so this is my final semester
Second
for
year.
second year.
Okay. How's your experience been studying dentistry there? Could you share a typical day as a dental student?
So right now we do have a lot more subjects, but they are all sort of dental based. So by your second year, you're sort of starting to experience all the dental subjects. For example, right now I'm doing orthopedic and prevention of oral diseases, which are sort of fundamentals, and they sort of lay the groundwork for most of the dentistry that you will be studying. And even for semester one, even though it wasn't as practical as medical degree at European University, we still had to do body system, which was a combination of anatomy, physiology, and imaging, in which we sort of had a lot of experiments that we had to do. So testing for reflexes. It would be within our peers, but it was still sort of an insight on what we would have to do in terms of testing for reflexes and sort of checking pulse and stuff like that.
Oh,
And then
fantastic.
yeah,
Carry on, carry on.
yeah. So there is sort of late lessons and early lessons. So some days I do start at sort of 9 a.m. and finish by 12 sometimes. sometimes it does go from sort of 12 to 6 p.m. And one thing that a lot of people that I speak to back home is the fact that we have uni on Saturday. But if anything, that sort of spreads out your timetable a bit more, giving you a lot more rest periods between your lessons. And I think that's another pro of European university.
Wow, they really know how to keep you guys on your toes, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's great. They've also been a university that's been quite forward thinking in terms of introducing facilities. Now you guys have your own dental clinic. Have you had the chance to experience that yet? Oh, I think we have lost Lavanya. Okay, so whilst we wait for Lavanya to join,
Sorry.
oh, hello.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, so I think we lost you at the point of telling us whether you've been able to experience the facilities at the dental clinic.
Hello?
Oh, we're here. We're
Yeah.
still here.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. What was the question, sorry?
Have you managed to experience the dental clinic yet that's just been opened?
Uh, Not yet, but we ourselves as students are actually allowed to go in there for consultation. So for a general sort of checkup, we have visited, and it's very nice, and it's newly refurbished as well, and has a lot of new appliances that are sort of gold standard devices that are used in dentistry, which is very important, right? And having a inbuilt dental clinic, which is part of a university, is absolutely amazing because we don't have to sort of commute to a lot of places to get our clinical hours and stuff. And even for the medical degrees, I spoke to a couple of my friends, and we have a hospital called Joanne, and that's where sort of a lot of the clinical stuff takes place.
The famous Joan Center. Fantastic. So finally, we have dental students that are also watching, some medical as well, and they're probably wondering whether they should take the step, perhaps go to Georgia to study, or basically go abroad. What advice would you give those students who are still considering?
Yeah, I think you should definitely take a leap for it because there's a lot of experience, and even
Whilst we are waiting for Lavanya to join us as he concludes his part, for those of you who have just joined us,
sort of,
welcome. Oh, hello.
yeah, hello.
Hello. Can you still hear us? Or you can join us after that. We'll move on from Lavanya and join in later on.
Hello?
Lavanya,
Yeah, can you hear me?
seems
Sorry.
you're having connection issues, so we'll come back to you once your connection is a bit more stable. All right, so now we are moving on to the Caribbean island, where I'm going to invite my colleague, Dana, who's going to share with you the exciting partnerships that we have with the universities there. Dana?
Good evening again. So one of the very popular options we have and interesting options we have is in the Caribbean, the University of Health Sciences School of Medicine. It's in Antigua and Barbuda. This is our partner university. So we are partners with this university, and it's one of the most prestigious universities for medicine in English. The university is located in Antigua, as we discussed, a very interesting and a very nice island. And the university doesn't have an entrance exam. So you just sit an interview and you don't have to sit an entrance exam. Now, this is the exciting part. Tuition fees, because we are partners with the university, we have an exclusive scholarship for Medlink students. So students who apply with Medlink will get this exclusive, interesting, and amazing opportunity with the fees. Tuition fees are 14,000 euros for the pre-med, where if you apply with Medlink as partners of the university, your tuition fees will be 6,000 euros a year. And for the MD course, the medicine, it's 28,500 euros. However, applying with Medlink students, your tuition fees drastically drop down to 8,000 euros a year. So hurry up, apply that. If you're interested to study medicine at one of the top universities and prestigious university, don't miss out on this opportunity. Now, to briefly tell you about the course, we do have with us a representative from the university that will be telling us more about how it works with the Caribbean, how they've designed a pre-med course for students like you who just finished A-levels and don't want to do a bachelor's degree. You can do a pre-med for 1 year, and then you can join a 4-year accelerated MD course. Now, I'm going to invite our guest here from the university, which is Dr. Tamara. Dr. Tamara is the Associate Dean of the Pre-Medical Sciences Department, and she's going to be telling us more about the university and the course in more detail. Dr. Tamara, can you hear us?
I can. Thank you, Donna. Good evening, everybody. For me, it's still afternoon. So UHSA is the second oldest medical school in the Caribbean. So it's been running since the mid-80s. We are smaller in terms of our faculty. It's almost called a boutique medical school because we're very it's more like a family than a big gigantic university. So I actually started as one of the higher up people in the medical program, in the MD program. It is based off of the US version of medical school. So we do not have an MBBS program. I then took over becoming the Associate Dean of Pre-Medical Sciences, and I would have to say I'm the most knowledgeable at the university because I'm the one that created the program. I'm the one that made and put all the courses together for it. What that does is in the United States, to get into a medical school and to get into a 4-year medical program, you have to have at least 90 credits. And so, with that 90 credits, you're able to apply to medical school. Most schools in the United States and the UK for graduate entry will not accept 90 credits. There are just too many students that want to get in. So when you come to our pre-medical program, fresh out of high school, in 1 year, you earn your 90 credits and the prerequisites required into the MD program. So if you pass our pre-medical program, you roll immediately into the MD program 1 year later. And the students that we have had go through it get down to the island, and they're doing very well. They're being very successful there, and that makes me super proud of them. So we have a large, 50-acre campus down there with the different facilities. We have lecture rooms with the big teleprompter screens. They're all air conditioned down there, which is an absolute must. You do not need a heater ever. I kind of miss it a little bit. We moved to the United States as our kids got older, but the weather there is perfect. And I say that wholeheartedly. There are beaches everywhere. The students are getting the SPA, the standardized patients will be starting up again in January. And so they will be learning to go through, besides they have practice of medicine courses where they'll learn the blood pressures and things like that. They will be able to do patient interviews, figure out, as I believe just Sarah said, what they do is they're basically actors that come in and they go through a list of their problems, and the students are able to do the medical history and learn how to communicate. Communication is huge in medicine. They're able to learn how to communicate with the patients, what diagnoses to follow through with depending upon the term that they're in. So we our MD program is a 4-year program, as was mentioned. It's 2 years of basic sciences that are on island, and then there are 2 years of clinical sciences where you will go out to different hospitals between the United States and the UK. We have 2 different pathways set up because the US students will go through the USMLE route. And the UK students coming from Medlink, and this is an amazing opportunity. I know that you guys that's a major tuition cut. So take advantage of going through Medlink, you guys, because you're getting a major tuition cut for that. But if you choose to, there are ways that you could go through and take the USMLE. But the UK pathway provides the ability that you will reach all of the assigned hours needed to be able to be registered through the GMC. We have students that are practicing throughout Puerto Rico, the United States. We have them practicing in the UK right now. I'm just trying to think of what all to cram in really quick. The students have formed a student government association where they have members that are with faculty that discuss the different issues that come up on campus on the island. I'm trying to think really. I don't want to just give you this is what the island has to offer. We are further down. Our university is further down near English Harbor, which during the sailing, the yachting season has a lot of British people that come and live on island and spend a lot of time down there. I have always been a huge pusher for, yes, you absolutely need to use your time wisely because you are the one taking the exam. And so, but I always recommend at least one day of brain break. And there are beaches every single they say that it's called the island of 365 beaches. There's one for every day of the year that you don't have to repeat twice. I never found all of them, but we do have favorites that I can't wait. I get to go back in January, and I'm headed right for the beach. And I live in Florida, but I live in Central Florida, and the beach is much further away, and it's crappy and gross in comparison to the beaches around Antigua. So we do have a white coat ceremony at the beginning of the orientation week. Like I said, if you want to go out, I believe the student group has periods where they're organizing some sporting activities. I believe there is one of the students that is big into rugby, and so they're helping kind of some of the local kids and local groups get involved in playing. Okay, it might be soccer. I spent a lot of time in Fiji, and so rugby is the only one that I really pay attention to. I don't pay attention to football. But they have organized sporting activities. They are going out and volunteering with the local search and rescue. They have different clubs that they've planned on. You guys could get together and rent jet skis. Anyway, I'm not saying that island life is for everybody, but we did do it between the Caribbean and the South Pacific for 12 years, raising our kids, and we miss it. We miss it horribly. But I've been with UHSA for, time to do math, 5 years now. And I've been able to watch it grow. We helped usher it. I say we, as in my husband also was working there at the time. We ushered it through COVID, and we were able to get the students online so that they were able to still continue their medical education. It is further from home in the UK, but the plane ride is not that far when it comes to being able to spend your summers and your winters on an island instead of freezing cold in the UK. But yeah, anyway, I miss it, and I'm really excited for the different student population that we have down there, the instructors that we have, the very close-knit family that I have always felt that we had down there. The one of us are always available for student problems to help take care of that. So anyway, if you guys have questions, I'm here for you.
Well, thank you for the explanation, Dr. Tamara. I think we're all excited to go to the Caribbean and the beaches now.
Very, very much.
All right. Would you be able to tell us a little bit more about the course and how it's divided, where like the 4-year MD course, MD1 and MD2 cover
Yep.
mostly theory in the Caribbean, and then the
Right.
practicals can be done in affiliated hospitals.
Right.
So,
So our basic sciences are split into 6 terms, and we have entry January, May, and September. So there are 3 entry times per year for the pre-medical and the medical program. 5 terms are on island for the medical program. Oh, really quick, the pre-medical program is all online. So if you guys are just finishing out high school and you don't want to go and get the bachelor's degree, you can still stay at home. If you're younger and your parents want you a little bit closer to them, the pre-medical program is all 100% online for that 1 year. When you reach the island, you do terms 1 through 5 down there. And the courses are split up into the major course disciplines: histology, anatomy and physiology, embryology, pathology, pharmacology. Term 6, so whether you are on the US pathway or the UK pathway, all students must pass the comprehensive NBME. And that is a national board a national board exam that doesn't it tests not only the students, but it makes sure that we are giving the students the education that they need to succeed in clinicals. So you would be able to go back, return to your home country. You guys will study on your own. US pathway students will take a term 6 Kaplan review for this exam. You will take the exam. After you pass that exam, you are able to go on into your clinicals. And that 2 years of clinicals is there are core rotations that need to be done in family medicine, surgery, pediatrics, psychiatry. I don't deal with the clinicals, so I know they were in my brain one time. Then after you finish your core rotations, you will need to go on and take your electives and fill out your hours that are needed for your elective rotations. Those are your choice. If you come through and you're like, I am going to be a family practitioner, this is who I want to work for, these are the people I want to take care of. We call them the cradle to grave. You can deliver that baby and you can help people through their geriatric life all the way through. Then you would want to focus and you choose their electives for that purpose. You choose where you would like to focus that medicine. Maybe you want to work at family practice with a pediatrics link to it and work more with the younger population. So those are the electives that you do. You are able, and I don't understand how all of it works out with visas and everything, but you could do them in the United States. You could also do those rotations, which I would highly recommend going back to your home country and doing them there. With the United States, and the only reason that I wonder about it is to practice in the United States, you have to pass USMLE step 1, step 2, and then you get into a residency program for step 3. That is similar, but not the same to the GMC route. So, if you have no desire to ever practice in the United States and you would like to stay in your home country, if you would like to stay in the UK, I highly recommend that pathway. Nobody will ever stop you from taking the USMLE, but it is not a pathway that we push the UK that Medlink students into, because yeah, if you go back to the UK, you just don't need those steps. So anything else?
I think we covered everything, and
Right.
thank you very
Right.
much for this explanation, and thank you for
You-
joining us.
You're welcome. Thank
it
you.
was
You
lovely
guys
to
have a
have you.
great day.
So, just to summarize, next intake in Antigua is in January, and it's a 1-year pre-med. If you have a bachelor's degree, you can join the 4-year MD course, knowing that
If
the
it is
bachelor's degree has
a
to be related
bachelor's
to
degree in a science.
in sciences.
So
Correct.
if you have a bachelor's degree in English, you will be put into the pre-medical
Of
program.
course, it has to be
Yeah,
a bachelor's
so-
degree related to sciences. For example, biomedical science, pharmacy. We can advise you on that. Once you speak to
Absolutely.
one of your advisors, we'll let you know. We'll speak to the university and let you know how you can join the course. Tuition fees. Let's not forget we have this exclusive offer of tuition fees with the university for students who apply with Medlink. So let's get on a call, discuss your journey on starting and going to the beaches, as Dr. Tamara said. Thank you,
really
Dr.
quick,
Tamara.
I'll also tell you, as UK students, you do not need to come here you do not need to come to Antigua with a visa. That student visa will get worked out when you arrive on the island. But because Antigua and Barbuda are part of the United Kingdom Commonwealth, you can just come in. So you don't have to sit at home and be like, there's no way I'll get my visa processed in time to be down there in January. You don't have to have it, though. That's a process that will be done for you on the island.
Yes, good point to mention. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I
Have a
think
good
it's
day.
time to have a lovely day yourself. I think it's time for us to move to our next option, which is in Italy, Humanitas Medical University. I'll call in my colleague Tom to tell us more about it. Tom?
Great, thanks, Dana. So, yes, let's talk a little bit about Italy. Italy is, of course, a very popular destination for people to go and visit, to go on holidays, but it's also got some incredible medical schools, albeit pretty competitive and a bit tougher to get into than most. However, we do have the luxury of having a partnership with one of these prestigious schools, or in fact a few of them now in Italy. But today we're going to be speaking particularly about Humanitas. Now, this is a school that currently has admissions open for September 2025, and you do have to apply pretty soon if you want to get a space. So do get in touch with us as soon as possible if this is a school you're interested in. As you can see here, they do a medicine and a pre-med course. They do have an entrance exam. It's quite a tough one, needs quite a lot of preparation, but we do help you and assist you with that as well. Tuition fees, you can see here there's quite a big range because it does depend on a few different factors, like your household income, for example, in terms of how many fees that you'll pay to the school. Cost of living, of course, it is around Milan. It's quite an expensive place. They do have university dormitories as well as private apartments. Again, that's something that we would assist you with. Next intake is October. It will be starting, and that's the one they have admissions open for. At the moment, they're taking applications for a lot of students who are finishing their schooling in A-levels and high school this year. Okay, so we do actually have a representative here, Hassan, who's studying medicine at the university. Hassan, are you with us?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Hassan. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience at the Humanitas University?
So I'm currently in my third year of medical school. I mean, obviously passed very, very quickly. Like I could not think about everything that passed in just 2 minutes, but it's been a great experience. I finally feel like I'm in a med school. Everything we're learning is interesting. We're meeting these amazing doctors that give us lectures. We start going to hospitals. Doctors are very encouraging with telling us to email them and to go to the hospital, other than actually going during the rotation hours, to actually go and to ask questions. But just overall, it's been a great experience because, I mean, the reason why I chose Humanitas is because it's a, I would say, smaller university. So, you know everyone, professors, doctors, and that kind of makes it feel like a community, makes it easier to get through. So you don't feel like that huge change from high school to university, and it's not really a big jump.
Fantastic. And can you tell us a little bit about sort of the day in the life of an international medical student studying in Europe? What's it like for you in the middle of the course now?
So again, very international university for sure. So sometimes, you do hear Italian all the time. You have a lot of Italian students, but because it's such an international thing, it's like you can, when you're in university, you get along easily with everyone. About the day in the life, how it is, again, like other universities, it depends on the day. Some days are longer, some aren't. Some days are split between just lectures and practicals at the end of the day, especially third year, or you're in the hospital. But you're pretty much, you're free to kind of organize how you want to use your day, especially towards the hospital hours.
And what are those clinical facilities like, and what's the experience like from a clinical point of view?
The clinical point of view, so I had my first rotation in rheumatology. At first, I was kind of like confused. Rheumatology, I don't know much about it. I haven't taken the course, but ended up being such a great experience purely because of how nice the doctor was. I struggled a little bit with Italian, but the university helped with lessons. I found lessons online, extra lessons, and they're just constantly throwing Italian at us that helped us easily, quickly, out of nowhere. I knew those Italian medical terms. So in the hospital, when I'm listening to a patient, I'm like understanding everything. And I was seeing these, very, very interesting cases, things that even the doctor would tell me, I've never seen anything like this before. We've done research about this. They haven't seen it. And you really feel like this is real. You're becoming a doctor from so early on in third year.
Fantastic. And obviously that is a big concern for students going to study somewhere like Italy, Italy has a much higher language requirement to learn the local language compared to other countries, say Bulgaria, Georgia, and places like this. What's your experience been like in terms of learning Italian?
I don't think it's that big. Like, I don't want to make it dramatic in terms of it's that big of a challenge. I don't think it's that, because it's purely just for the hospital, for your own sake, if anything. It doesn't stop you from becoming a better doctor. It doesn't stop you from learning in any way. It's more of how much you actually want to work hard. So even the way they tell us, it's in a motivating way. They don't scare us with, you need to know Italian. They tell us, this is better for you. For your CV in the end, you're going to know more Italian. You're going to be able to interact with more patients. But overall, living in Italy, in Milan especially, it's very touristy. You can get along with knowing just English. You do not have to. It's not a must to be able to know Italian, especially outside of university. It's mainly just the hospital part, and that's pretty much it.
Fantastic. And of course, there's going to be a lot of people looking towards applying to somewhere like Humanitas for this October. What advice would you give to them?
Start as soon as you can with prepping for the entrance exam. Like you mentioned, Tom, it's tougher than other ones, but that actually drove me, and that made me want to apply to Humanitas. I saw it as a challenge. I like challenges. Ever since high school, I like taking that challenge. And that just pushed me to work hard. Not saying that it was particularly easy, but if you prep early on, you can do it. You have that passion to become a medical student, you can do it. Just prep early.
Apply in good time and prepare well.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Was there anything else you wanted to add about your experience?
I think that I pretty much covered the main points about why I think you should join Humanitas. Humanitas themselves are not making me say this, but I genuinely do really enjoy being in university.
We can tell. You seem very passionate about it.
I'm very passionate because, the friends I've met, the societies I've joined, the different activities that I've done, it passed so quickly that I'm like, I don't want this university life to end, but obviously I'm excited to be a doctor at some point.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. That was an amazing insight into a very, very popular, very well-regarded university in such a well-known country as well.
Yeah, and if any student has any question, please just type it out. I will be here to quickly give you any answers.
Perfect. Are you going to stick around for our Q&A in a little while? Great. We'll see you there. Thanks, Hassan.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay, so there it is. For those of you interested in Italy, Humanitas Being a huge private institution, they do have a slightly different admission cycle to some of the state schools, and that does actually give you more opportunity to getting a place. Still very tough, as Hassan said, it is one of the toughest places that we work with in terms of getting accepted into, but we will give you all the support you need. We do have our partnership with the university, really good connections with them, so we'll be able to handle all the application for you, and we'll be able to give you the materials that you need, university specific materials to help you prepare for that as well. Okay, so from one very popular place to another, let's talk a little bit about Bulgaria. So Bulgaria has always had a great reputation for its medical and dental educations, especially for the English taught programs. We're going to speak today about what I would say is definitely one of the most popular universities, particularly for our UK students at the moment, and that is Plovdiv Medical University. Located in Plovdiv, the second largest city in the country, they offer fully English taught courses in medicine, dentistry and pharmacy. They do have an entrance exam that's based in biology and chemistry. Tuition fees, as you can see, they range from around 8,000 to 9,000 euros per year. Cost of living around 550, can be a little bit more depending on the person per month. Accommodation is just private here, so you would rely on our teams to help you to sort all of that out. And the next intake is available in October. Now, this is one of the schools where we are already taking in a lot of applications all the time for next October. So if it is somewhere you want to apply and you want a competitive chance of getting in, give us a call. We are here to go through all your questions and see if it's a good fit for you. But right now, to give you even more of an in-depth look and insight into the school, we do have one of our very own students, Rahma, who's going to speak a little bit about Plovdiv. Are you with us?
Hi, yeah.
Hello. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience, first of all?
So my name is Rahma. I'm currently studying medicine. I'm in my second year right now. My experience so far has been amazing. I think when I coming to Plovdiv was a really impulsive decision for me. I never really thought in a million years I'd move to Europe to study medicine. So I came with really low expectations. I think a lot of students don't have the highest expectations when they know they have to move abroad and they don't know anything about the country. But Plovdiv has exceeded every single expectation I ever had, from the teaching style, which is really nice, and also the other students here are really, really helpful. Everyone's always sharing resources and notes and everything. The upper years always hold, extended classes. If you kind of wanted to learn anything extra, there's always upper year students that are hosting classes themselves to always help you out if you want to go and do some further learning as well.
That's definitely something that stands out about Plovdiv is the student community. And what's the kind of social life and those kind of aspects like?
I think there's a lot of free time with the students here in Plovdiv. They structure their days really well. So I think you'd have your kind of seminars during the day, your lectures or whatever, but in your time in between, a lot of students revise together, they go to cafes together. There's a really big community revising together. Everyone just loves doing it. In terms of having free time, I know a lot of students who have enough free time to be able to take on jobs or do online tutoring and stuff. But the social aspect is really good. There's so many societies, a big international community here, and every single society is so diverse. You can even have like Somali societies, Pakistani societies, Arab societies. There's always opportunities to go and do something in your spare time.
Fantastic. And like you said, it was very unknown. You went initially with very sort of low expectations, and that is the case with a lot of students. They don't know a lot about somewhere like Bulgaria. And of course, one of the big concerns, and I'm sure we'll have some parents and families nodding along as they hear this, one of the big concerns is safety. Is Eastern Europe, or almost as far eastern as you can go, somewhere like Bulgaria, is it going to be safe for these international students, whether they're from the UK, from Pakistan, from the US, from Africa, wherever it may be? How do you find it living as an international student in the middle of Bulgaria?
I think I had the same concerns as everyone else, so did my parents. Obviously, I didn't really know much about the country, and you hear things about it that makes you a little bit, hesitant. But when I did come here, I kind of found that because the student community is so close with each other, you never really feel unsafe, no matter what time of night it is. I think because there's always students walking up and down the same streets as you are. They all live like 2 minutes away from each other. You can literally walk at nighttime and never really have to worry because you can see students a few meters away from you just chilling, talking, sitting around. I think especially for girls, it's a big concern of safety as well, living in Eastern Europe. But I haven't really had any issues. And if there are any issues, we do have massive group chats with every single person in the year. If there's ever any kind of incident, people post it on the chat just so everyone's aware of like there's anything that's happened or anything to look out for, anyone specific to look out for. But like I said, because the community is so close-knit to each other, anything that does happen, everyone is there to help you. Everyone's there to support you. And the locals here are really sweet. Then they're not going to do anything to you. You don't ever really feel unsafe in general. But if there was, if anything to happen, everyone's here to help out.
It's good to hear you have a strong community, but also the locals. I mean, Bulgarians, they know people that live in Plovdiv as the people that take life easy, that are very relaxed,
everyone here
very
is
chilled
very,
people.
very relaxed, very chill. The locals here are very content, very sweet. You never really have any issues with them.
Fantastic. Okay. And can you talk a little bit now about kind of what your experience was like applying to the school?
So like I said, it was really impulsive for me. I was a student that actually had to take a gap year because the first time applying didn't really work out for me. So I did apply the second time during my gap year. And I think like many other students, even the second time round might have not worked out for them. So I kind of was left with no options. Obviously, I thought that maybe going to Europe would be like my last resort, but you never really think you're going to be at that point. So I don't know. I think I just Googled it one day and I thought, okay, maybe I'll just have a look and see. And I think I actually had a consultation the same day I messaged. I think it was with you, Tom, and we spoke. And as soon as we spoke, I don't think I've even told my parents. I was like, okay, let me just have the talk first. I told my parents after, and they were like, yeah, if it's something that suits you and what you like, then go for it. I think my parents are really supportive once they knew that medicine was something I really wanted to do. I think I don't think you should settle for something that's not what you want to do. I think moving abroad, yeah, it's a big leap to take, but doing dentistry, doing medicine, if it's your career, I don't think you should take any chances on doing something else. And I think I first spoke to Tom, I think in February, and from then on, I think within a week, I had sent in whatever documents they asked from me. I was chilling for the next few months. All I had to do was revise for the entrance exam, which I think I took in July of the same year. And then that was kind of the only thing I really had to worry about because Medlink took care of everything else for me. And then I think I found out towards the end of September that I could go in and move to Plovdiv once I got my entrance.
And what was it like initially moving there then?
For me, I was so nervous. I didn't really know anything about the country. I didn't know anyone else that was going with me. But I think on that first flight, I was there, not even when I got on the flight, even at the airport, I was seeing other students that were going to Plovdiv with me. And I was thinking that, these are potential friends that I could have in the future. When I first got there, I did have on-ground support from Medlink, which was another student that came, picked us up. They arranged transport for us to take us to our accommodations that we'd had. And I think on the same day we had our enrollment into the uni. So we became students officially straight away as soon as we landed, which was really fun. And they'd planned a few things for us. We did like campus tours and city tours, little things like that, to get to know each other and get comfortable with the area. And at the same time, we could meet the other students that were going to be joining us at the same time.
Great. It's so good that you were able to take advantage of all of the offers and the services that we had for you, especially the on-ground support. And now you're going to be helping the new students coming in yourself. Are you excited to be helping people come September, October time?
Yeah, I actually helped the students that came in this year, and it was really fun. It was really nice. I see them walking around the campus all the time, and it's more of like a friendship relationship that we have, so they can come with any questions they have. I'm always happy to help them.
Of course, yeah, we've had great feedback for you, and now you're doing this as well. You're doing a lot to help people, which is fantastic. And just to wrap things up, then, what advice would you give for the people that were in your position a couple of years ago that are really kind of umming and ahhing at the moment and trying to figure out what to do next?
I'd say just take any options that you can get. Of course, if medicine or dentistry is something that you really, really want to do and nothing else is kind of calling to you, then I think just take the leap. I think you'll find that it was worth it in the end. Everyone that I've spoken to, even myself, I'm so happy that I took the leap. And I know I would have regretted it if I didn't. Obviously, like speak to the team at Medlink and they'll give you so many options. I know Tom gave me so many different options of different unis I could think about, and ultimately I decided on Plovdiv. So there's so many different options that can suit your different needs. But yeah, just have a chat and see what your options are.
Fantastic. Thank you for an amazing insight and telling us a little bit more about it, and such an amazing school and city as well. I've been looking at the pictures here while you've been talking, and I'm going to have to plan another visit myself to the city just to go around it all. A great
That's
place.
amazing. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so going on from there, well, we've just heard a pretty good outlook of exactly what we do as an organization from a student who's now gone full circle, and now she's part of the team that are helping other students to come and settle in Bulgaria, which is fantastic. We love to see it. So how things all start is with a phone call. You've heard obviously with Rahma there, with myself, a couple of the students had contacted Dana before, but we actually have a big team of advisors just like us, and our number one role is to just have a conversation with you, is to hear about everything that you're looking for in a university. Do you want somewhere that's got a nice climate? Do you want somewhere that's problem-based learning? Do you want somewhere with early clinical experience? Do you want somewhere with a high ranking? Do you want somewhere with a high acceptance rate? There are so many different factors involved, and we want to listen to you and hear what's important for you, because people ask me all the time, Tom, just tell me, what's the best medical school abroad? What's the best one? And I said, it's different for you than it is for everyone else. And so that's our job, is to listen to you and work out what is the best medical school abroad for you as an individual. And that's what we want to do. That's the first step. And bear in mind, all of this is completely free. There is no obligations for anything. We don't charge for this. We do it to help you. Now, once you've decided on a school, you'll then be starting an application. And once you start an application, that is when you're then obviously going to be paying for that application. Now, applying abroad is no easy thing. It's actually very complicated. And this is the main reason why the organization was set up so many years ago now by a team of, at the time, they were medical students, and they went and studied abroad themselves. And they thought it shouldn't be this difficult for people to continue pursuing their dreams. And this is why over the last 12, 13 years now, they've been setting up and carefully cultivating this organization, this culture of people who are so dedicated. As you saw Miguel here in the photo, you saw him earlier. They are so dedicated to working around the clock to make sure that your application goes through successfully. All of the legal steps, all of the bureaucracy, the notarizing, the translation of documents, all these things need to be done by specific people with the right qualifications and the right governmental offices. You know, it's too much for my head to handle, but it's lucky that we have this team that are able to go through all of it, and they really dedicate everything they can to it. They go above and beyond. I can't speak highly enough of that team. Moving on from there, once you've got your acceptance, I forgot to mention then as well, of course, the exam materials. That's another big part of supporting you. So once you've gone through, you've done your exam or interview, whatever it is, we've got your application accepted, because that's the part that we handle for you. We spend a few months building and submitting that. The next part is about helping you relocate. So we'll assist you with things like your visa, getting health insurance, travel insurance, whatever you need help with, you give us a call, we help. Then when you get there, we have our on-ground support teams. So like Rahma was saying, she had a lot of support. She's now doing the support herself for Plovdiv for this September, October. And we have loads of people doing this. So these are specialist students or sometimes local residents who will help you to pick up your residence permits. They'll help you to get transportation, airport pickup when you arrive. So you never have to get to a city and think, what am I doing? I'm in a city abroad. I don't know where I'm going. You'll always have someone there to guide you, to hold your hand throughout that entire process, getting a bank account, SIM card, everything you need. And this support is in fact throughout all the years. So anytime you need anything, you have got Medlink student support teams there, either studying alongside with you or living permanently in the city. You're always going to have someone there who's just a WhatsApp message or a phone call or a WhatsApp group chat away. So you can get in touch with people that way. Following on from that, so yes, as I was saying here, ongoing support throughout the study. So it's not just the on-ground support teams. We also have so many people behind the scenes. You can see a few of the faces here. And again, these are the guys that are working around the clock to make sure you've always got the support you need. Any issues you have, you give them a call. They are there to help you. And they're a fantastic and incredibly helpful team. The final part is, of course, once you graduate. So when you graduate, we'll also be giving you all the advice, guidance, and support that we can to ensure that you have a good transition back to wherever you're looking to register. So I'm sure a lot of you are looking to register back in the UK. We'll give you all the guidance and support we can on that. Of course, we have a lot of experience with this, so we will do our best to help you and make sure that your dreams of becoming a successful doctor in the country of your choice are actually realized, not just that initial step, but throughout all the years. We're there to help. So if you're interested, please do book in an appointment. We're going to put the code up just now, which will show you can scan that and get a free consultation with us. Bear in mind, we are going to have a special offer very shortly. We're going to be discussing that, and this will be linked to you booking an appointment with us ASAP. There is going to be a limited number on the offer, but first of all, we're going to go through a quick Q&A session. So I hope a bunch of you have put some questions in. I think just having a look here, I can see, yeah, our team have answered a lot of questions. So we're gathering together some of the most popular ones. I'm going to hand over to my colleague Dana. So just before we go through the offers available to you, my colleague Dana is just going to answer a few of your top questions so we can try and assist you as much as possible during this event. Dana, over to you.
Thank you, Tom. Wow, so many messages, so many questions coming in. All right. One interesting question is, it's about a university in Georgia. What's the year-to-year exams like? Is it pass or fail per year, or is it percentage grade cutoff? I think the best person to answer this is Jasira. Are you with us, Jasira?
Yes, I'm here.
Did you hear the question?
Yeah. I think it depends on the university, but at least when it comes to TMA, the system is as follows. So for the first, let's say 2 years, we have a system that's called GOTS, which is growth-oriented tests. And this is basically every 2 to 3 weeks, after covering content of every single subject, we will have a very short test in order to keep up with the material. And also you need to pass 50% plus of these GOTS in order to be able to write your midterms and finals. So the midterms would make a 40% of your total grade, and the finals will make up a 60% of your final grade. And the GOTS don't count yet, but from the third year, you will have softs, which will now count on your GPA, and you need to pass it in order to again write your midterms and finals. All
right, thank you, Jasira.
Thank you.
I have here a question to Hassan from Asmara. She would like to know more about the entrance exam you took for Humanitas and how you prepared. So can you share a little bit more details about what you needed to study for the entrance exam?
Sure. So the entrance exam, even though it's difficult, actually what attracted me to Humanitas because it doesn't have anything science. I know we're entering a medical school, we should know science, but it's more of like critical thinking, the way you think. So scientific literacy, kind of, but it's more of the way you think. So very similar to how UCAT would be, but it's not as difficult as a UCAT. It's not as intense as a UCAT, of course. So that's one section. The other section is just English. They just want to make sure you have you know enough English, basically you can read a passage and basically answer some questions. It's not, that section isn't that difficult. How did I prepare for it? Humanitas does have on their website some practice, like a practice exam that you could try out in exam conditions. But also, of course, Medlink did give me some resources, including some UCAT past papers that do help you think in that way. I know UCAT is a bit more difficult, but it does, I mean, obviously makes you think in the best way possible.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. We will be helping you. Our team
Of
will be
course.
giving you material to prepare, in addition to all the resources that you can have also. But since I have you here, Hassan, do you mind if I ask you one more question?
No, of course, I'm happy to answer.
Okay. Students are asking, how often do you get to go visit your family during the academic year?
Okay, so it really depends. Okay, it depends where you live around the world. If you live in the UK, I know students, I have friends who go back maybe every 3 weeks. I think that's a bit too much because, I mean, you kind of want to have a separate life. You kind of want to grow as a person. I would go back every Christmas, so I'm traveling soon. So every Christmas, maybe Easter sometimes. But I think as a student, you make these friends, you want to explore around Europe. You have this opportunity with your residency that you can go to so many countries, so many cities to see in Italy, of course, before any other European country as well. Like you want to see Italy, discover Italy. So yes, you miss your family, but you will get the chance. It is, yes, a long academic year, but of course you do have breaks and you do have time to see your family.
Most of the students actually just do like you. They go to visit family during Christmas and summer holidays. During the short breaks, they prefer to stay, discover the country, go out with friends.
Mhm.
Yep, yeah, interesting. All right, thanks, Hassan.
Thank you.
Next question up. I think we can call in Rahma. It'll be a good question for you. You'll be best to help us with it. Language barrier. Students are asking, are you with us, by the way,
Yeah, hello.
Rahma? Okay.
Yeah.
Students are asking a little bit about the language barrier. How did you manage in Bulgaria?
So when I first came, I obviously didn't know any kind of Bulgarian. I didn't really know if they were going to teach us Bulgarian, but they actually, so for the first 2 years of your studies, you have, I think, close to 5 hours of Bulgarian lessons a week, and that's you have to do it. It's not optional. And I think they do it more for your sake as well, so that you can communicate with the locals. A lot of these locals, they don't know how to speak English, so if you're going to shops or restaurants or things like that. And also it comes useful in your clinical years when you want to speak with patients. They do have interpreters in the room with you if your Bulgarian isn't that strong from your lessons that you had. But I think it's good to build your doctor-patient relationship if you can speak a little bit of their language. But the language barrier, you don't really feel it at all when you're in uni. All of the professors have excellent English. They are well traveled around the world as well. So yeah, the only other language that you'd have to learn is Latin, and that's just for your first year. And that's just to help you with medical terminology because a lot of it is originally in Latin. But no, I don't feel a language barrier at all, really, because they do teach you enough for you to be able to communicate with the locals.
Thank you, Rahma.
No problem.
Okay, we'll go over a few more questions very fast because I know you guys are excited to hear about the offer. You're waiting all, but we have a lot of questions from students. So, Edmund, are you with us?
Of course. I'm enjoying this evening.
Yeah, quite exciting, huh? So many questions coming in. I don't think if
Yeah.
we're going to be able to cover them all. But yeah, going over the most common ones. I have a very common question that we usually get. Someone's asking, are there countries better for students to study than others? What would you say about that?
That's a great question, and I'm glad this individual asked. We have spent the last 13 years going through over 100 schools now. This is something we never had. And so whenever I talk to a student, and every single student I talk to has something different and unique about them. You know, one school or one country that might be great for a student mightn't be for another. So when I'm talking to a student, it's about understanding what they're looking for, what their priorities are, what's more important to them. That's going to fit their goals and align with them. Now, there isn't one school better than the other inherently, because all of the schools we've researched very well. We've looked at the programs and their education and whether they meet the criteria. Every university will tell you they are the best, which in that case is true because we have done the research for you. But there is one university that will be perfect for you because the environment is what will make everything change for you. This is why you've seen the likes of Jasira, the likes of Rama, all of these students enjoying their time because this was the environment that they chose. And this is something that suits them. So with all of the schools that we have, of course, there is a perfect opportunity for every single one of you listening.
All right. Don't think you could have answered this better. All right. Jasira, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Jasira, students are asking about safety in Tbilisi,
In Georgia?
in Georgia, and I think it's a very common question for a lot of students. Even you might have worried about this before coming.
Yes, that was one of my biggest concerns as a woman and a woman of color. And it is something that also worried my parents. But well, even before coming to Georgia, I did hear that it was a very safe country with very calm and polite people. Um, and coming here, I could actually be a witness of this. It is true. I've never felt unsafe in the streets of Tbilisi. I have walked on my own late at night sometimes, and I've never felt threatened or any. Everyone is just doing their thing. And everyone is pretty respectful about your space, and yeah, they don't bother you.
Okay, and do you feel it's a diverse place? Like, have you ever worried about racism? Because also we get a lot of students asking about this. How's
Yes.
the diversity there?
Obviously, when you get closer to like the uni areas, it is very diverse. You see a lot of people from different countries. For example, in TMA is very close to another university called SEU. So in that area, yeah, you do see a lot of different people. Now, where I live, which is in like an area that's a little, it's not far away, but it is a little bit further from TMA. It is mostly Georgians, but I have never experienced any racism. Some of them, I think they're just not used to seeing people like me, so they stare, or sometimes that stare comes with a little smile or a little, oh, you're so pretty, or things like that, but never anything that made me feel uncomfortable or anything like that. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, we're glad you're having a great experience there, and we can't wait to have more students join you so we can become bigger and bigger as a community. As we always say, joining Medlink Students isn't just a service, it's a community. We're like a family, and we
Yeah.
want to support more and more students to achieve their dreams. Okay, thank you very much, Jasira.
Thank you.
We're running short on time. We'll go over one more question because it is a very common question. Few students asked it, and then we'll move to the exciting part, which is the offer. So, last question. It's about age. Is it a problem if I'm above 30 years old? I'll answer this. Age is not a problem. No matter how old are you, we will be advising you on which universities you can apply to. A lot of students think that if they're above 25 or 30, there's a barrier there. They can't join medicine school, but that's not the story here. It's never too late to achieve your dream. So no matter how old are you, we've helped students 45 years old, 50 years old, Most of our students are students in their 20s, late 20s. So don't worry, whatever your age is, we can help you join the medicine school. Age is not a problem. There's no limit for age with the universities. All right, I'll call in Tom, but before I call Tom also, I know that you all have questions we didn't go over, and we would have really wanted to go over everything, but we're short on time, where time is limited. So you can scan here this QR code and book a free consultation, one-to-one consultation with an expert advisor that can answer any questions that you have, whether you've asked now or questions that pop into your mind after the webinar. Gather them all on a piece of paper, come to us on a call with so many questions. We're more than happy to discuss all of them with you. So here's the QR code. We'll leave it for a few seconds. And then we're gonna move to discuss our offer that you've all been waiting for. Tom, can you tell us about the offer?
Yes, of course. Let's go through it. So first of all, thank you all so much for staying this length of time. Let's get straight into it and talk about what we're going to be able to do for you here at Medlink. So as I mentioned before, when we were looking at the stages, there is a lot of work that needs to be done when you apply, and that does involve a big upfront cost. Now, what we're doing, and this is a first time exclusive that we're doing here at Medlink Students, is we are actually putting down the upfront cost required down to just as low as £600, so that it's more affordable for you to reserve a spot at your dream university. So to clarify, usually the upfront cost is a lot more, and then you have to, of course, pay the remaining fees once you get accepted into the school. But doing this will mean that you only have to pay £600 for now. We will do the rest of our work on our part, because we, of course, trust you that you'll be able to pay the rest once we get you accepted and we get your application through. So we'll do all the hard work for as little as £600 just to get everything started for you, so you don't have to break the bank and try to save up and spending a lot of time, but instead you're able to do it straight away. Now, this is limited to the first 50 students because it costs us a lot of money to do it at a lower cost. But we want to do something to reward you all for staying for the webinar. We know how committed you are. We can't wait to have you joining in later webinars and showing your support and sharing your story about how you were once just a student behind the screen watching a webinar and you decided to go and study abroad and make your dreams become a reality. So we really can't wait to help you. The other reason we're doing this is we are actually facing many more applications at this time of the year than we've ever had before. And we know what this means because we've seen it happen with universities in previous years. Deadlines can move around, spaces can fill up, places can run out, and you won't be able to get hold of the opportunities that you're interested in. There are also earlier exams. We got an announcement from one of our big schools in Poland only this week that they were going to be doing early exams in December because of the amount of people that have already applied with them. And this is the case with a lot of popular schools all across Europe and the Caribbean. So please do get in touch if you want to have this, whether it's a priority for you or whether you're applying at home and you just need a backup option. We are here to help. We're here to give you absolutely free advice. And of course, if you want to take us up on this offer, we're willing to make this sacrifice to give you that benefit so you can get everything started and we can still help you to apply now, which is such a key time for you to have the best possible chance of acceptance. And we can run through all of this in more details on a call, so do book in a call with us. We'd be more than happy to assist you. We'll go through all the options and make sure that everything is secured for you. Any questions you have, as Dana was saying, please write them all down. We'll go through them on the call together, and we can't wait to see you there. We really look forward to helping you, making your dreams become a reality, and we'll see you in medical school. Now, this is also, of course, relevant for people going for the March intake too. If you are someone that's looking for these sooner intakes, we have some of the last spots available. Fortunately, the intakes aren't quite as big and popular as the September ones, so we do still have some opportunities available there as well. Again, just jump on a call. You should have an email with the link to your advisor's calendar. You can book an appointment directly in with them for any time that suits you, completely free of charge. We'll have a chat and we'll go from there. We really look forward to helping you. And thank you so much for joining us this evening. So from myself and all of my colleagues here at Medlink Students, best of luck with your admissions, and we'll wait to hear from you. Goodbye.
Не вярно.
Тебе.
Кога успя?
Моя смененка.